We'll start. Now, so I have created a method called treatment in the class doctor, where general treatment is what I'm going to give it as a treatment. For dentist, it will be specific. The same method will be there, but for dentist is not going to treat for fever and all. Okay. Tooth and okay. So those related issues. And then for veterinarian, the method will be same. You can see it's the same method. Okay. But the concept here will be treating animal. Okay. Now, you see your definitions will be keep on changing. Method will be same. In order to do a method overriding, you have to create a same method. In the parent class and child class, you have to create the same method. Now, what will happen is right now, method overriding concept goes like this. Method overriding, or we call it as runtime polymorphism or dynamic polymorphism. The concept over here is the same method will be there in parent and class. But only thing is it will have a different definitions. Every class will give their own definition. Now, in order to achieve method overriding concept, you have to create an object for child. When you create an object for child, these are all child class. When you create an object for child, the memory will like one person, please inform the other person, like one more person was in the meeting, no? Just inform him, possible to reconnect. Okay. Now, you see here, I just rejoined the meeting. At that time, I was not having host access, so it got disconnected when the host left. Now, there won't be an issue. So now listen here, the same method only. So we already know how to create object and call these methods and all. To achieve method overriding concept, you have to create an object for child. Create a object for child and store it in the parent reference. When you do this, you will be able to see overriding concept. During the runtime, the method to be called will be changed. The concept of method overloading concept, make sure that is clear for you. Method overloading is it's a polymorphism. Polymorphism means many form. You will have one method inside same class, same method name, multiple method with same name inside a class. That's basically called method overloading. This is a one polymorphism. We call it a static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism because the method to be called is decided during the compile time. While calling the method, if you do calculator dot add 10.2, 10.2, it will call the method which accepts two integer, sorry, two double. If I give 10.2, 10, it will try to show you the method which is going to be called as add double comma int. During the compile time itself, it will show you, and that method will be called during the runtime. Different form will be there. That is your polymorphism. Now you see, this is also going to have a different form. Okay, it's a concept of polymorphism. We call this as runtime polymorphism. We should know the difference between runtime and compile time. Initially, when I discussed about Java architecture, I explained you what is runtime, what is compile time. Compile time is converting the source code to bytecode. That's basically called compile time. Runtime is bytecode to output. Okay, whenever you save the class, automatically the bytecodes will be generated. You see inside the Java concept bin folder, you will be able to see the bytecodes. Whenever we save the script, automatically the bytecodes will be generated. You can see that over here. Okay. Now, this is a same method you can see, but acts different form. That's a overloading or overriding. You need to think. Overriding is in the child class, we'll override the method. For overriding, you have to follow few standards. I'll just share the slides for it. Last class we have seen super keyword and all, how to make use of super keyword. In framework, we'll be using super keyword for reusing the runtime polymorphism. Call to the method is resolved during the runtime. Method to be invoked is based on the object being referred. Method overriding Java means method can be defined with same name and signature in base class as well as in the derived class. You can see signature is nothing but return type. If you are given the return type int, when you override it, you have to give int only. Otherwise, it will not allow you to override the method. You can get it a different method. If it is a override and if you're planning to override the method in child, you have given extends and you have to create the same method. Okay. Here, if it is private and below you cannot like if it is private here and below if you try to create public and all, few things are possible. Opposite is not possible. So those things and all we will be working on it. Private means it's not going to override basically. Right now, let me keep it as public everything and then I'll show you. Now you see object needs to be created. So for example, a dentist object I'll be creating. This is the object. Now this object, what we do is we'll try to store it in the parent class. If you do that, you will be able to see overriding concept. The object will be created for child and you will be storing it in the parent. If you do that, you can see the overriding concept. Let me show you that. Opposite is not possible. Doctor equal to new dentist. You see here. I'll tell you the reason why we store it in something like this. Let me keep it as obj. Now you see here. Let me do obj.treatment. Obj.treatment and calling the method. Now carefully look into this compile. During the compile time, code is shown over here. Whatever the method you call, it comes from the parent class. Based on the left hand side only, it will be displayed. You see the method treatment comes into picture, return type is void, and it comes from the doctor. Let me try to run this in a debug mode. So when the object is getting created, first all the non-static variable will be loaded. There are two non-static fields. Those will get loaded with default values. Doc ID name. And while calling the method, during the compile time, you see it shows the method is coming from the parent, doctor.treatment. Now, during the runtime, based on the object you create, the method will be called. You see the output. Let me run it in a debug mode. Let me do step into. You see during the runtime, but here it shows the method is coming from doctor.treatment. If I right click on it, open declaration, it will take you to the method in doctor only. But during the runtime, based on the object you create, if the method is overridden, that method will be called. You see, the output is based on truth related issue. Okay, so this concept is going to be a method overriding concept. So this is similar concept is used in for Selenium also. For example, they have created something like quit method for closing the browser. For closing the Chrome browser, the definition will be slightly different. For closing the Firefox, the definition will be different. Or if you are finding the element, how Firefox will work, how Chrome will work. So based on that, definitions will be different. So they were able to give different definition by using the method overriding concept. Okay. So this is a simple overriding concept. Overridden method will be called. Method to be called is decided or resolved during the runtime. That's basically called method overriding concept. Here, method to be called is resolved during the runtime. Okay. But during the compile time, even the compiler thinks the method is coming from the treatment. Okay, and during the runtime, based on the object you create, the method will be called. Now you see I'm able to store this, and I'm going to create one more thing, like using the same reference, I can do this new veterinarian, which is possible, and I can do obj dot treatment. If I do this second object, Based on the object I create, method will be called. First object I'm creating. On the creating the first object, I'm calling the method. You see the definition is taken from dentist. And second time I'm creating an object for veterinarian. The definition is taken from the veterinarian. Overridden method is called. Suppose if the method is not overridden, you see the output. If the method is not overridden, it will take the method from the parent class. If you want to give a new definition, you can override it and do it. If you do that, it's called dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism or method overriding concept. Okay, in Java, if you do method overriding, it's basically termed as runtime polymorphism. In most of the language, the concept will be same. Okay, depends on the scenario, you will be keep on changing. The reason why we need to store it in parent. Okay, for example, assume that you are going to design a payroll concept. You are going to design a, let me create over here. Okay, payroll method. And in that, listen carefully, I want to design a payroll method. And this payroll method needs to know the patient, like doctor name, doctor ID. Assume that there is salary also, doctor salary, and doctor specialist, whether it is dentist or veterinarian. Those details it needs to know. Now, public void payroll. So if I assume I'm going to create it for dentist, you see dentist. I created here payroll for dentist. So d dot name plus gets salary. Assume that it's going to allocate the salary amount. Okay, some calculation is going to happen. It's a payroll method. It's in a different class. Now I wanted to use this method. Right now you see here, I can call this method. Let it be static method. Let it be static method. If it is a static method, I can call using the class name. Let me do that. Let it be a doctor obj1 and obj1. See, I'm creating two object obj and obj1. Running this code, this method will give you the output. Now I wanted to give the payroll detail. For that, you see, I can call this method class name dot method name payroll. Calling it, you see, right now, if I try to put it into dentist, if I put it into dentist, something like this method will be working fine. Suppose for dentist, veterinarian, surgeon will be there, plastic surgeon will be there, different cardiologists will be there. So different types of doctors will be there. So for each and every one, I need to create a payroll. Now what we are trying to do is we are storing it in a common layer, which means doctor. After storing it in a common layer, I can give over here as doctor. Okay, doctor is basically a parent of all the other types of doctors. Right now, by just creating this, I can send the object of dentist, I can send the object of veterinarian by just using one type over here. That is the main reason why we store it in the parent. We store it in the WebDriver. If you see in Selenium, we store it in the WebDriver. And after storing it in the WebDriver, what we are doing it? If you see after storing it in the WebDriver, we are doing driver.get and all. You see, it's actually showing the method is coming from WebDriver. But during the runtime, if the method is overridden, the overridden output will be happening. So based on the object you create, the output like method will be called. So the reason why we do this is by using a common layer, I can pass the driver here and there. We are doing something like we will be designing about the framework. At that time, what we do is we'll pass the driver from one class to another class. While passing it, if you are trying to store it in Chrome driver or Firefox driver, every time you have to handle it. Each and every browser, you have to handle it while passing that argument. Right now, as a common layer, we can pass. So over here, if you see, I can create a payroll system for the type doctor, whereas doctor is a parent of dentist and veterinarian. It will accept the object of doctor, for example, all doctor equal to new doctor, which is possible in this case. D dot treatment, if I do, first the treatment will be based on the parent class. And second, the treatment will be based on method. While calling it, it will think the method is coming from dentist on. Here, let me change it to doctor. While calling it, it will think the method is coming from the doctor only. But during the runtime, based on the object you create, the method will be called. Here also, based on the object you create, method will be called. Right now, if you see the payroll system, what I've created, it's going to accept the doctor object, doctor type. So doctor type in the sense, it can accept a new doctor, which is possible. I can put it over here and also put new dentist. That object also will be folded over here. A new veterinarian also will be accepted. By just creating a common type, you can achieve this operation. If you don't have this feature, creating an object and store it in parent, if you don't have this feature, there is no concept of WebDriver equal to new Chrome driver. Okay. Now you see here, first time I call this method. Now the object of doctor class is sent. Okay, d dot name, no name actually. And second time you see the object of dentist class is passed. And third time you see the object of veterinarian is passed. Okay. Now you will have access for all the child class object by storing it in the parent. Okay. For creating a payroll system and all, it will be really useful. And when it comes to automation, we are storing it in the WebDriver. So the reason why we are storing it in WebDriver is so that for any browser, we can handle it using the WebDriver. Okay. For example, we will be having a class called actions. Action class is used for mouse over activity and keyboard activity. If you see this action class, it comes from Selenium, and this action class will ask for WebDriver. You see, it's asking for WebDriver, like payroll method, it's asking for WebDriver. Now, if we don't have the concept of WebDriver, storing it in the parent, then what you need to do is, while creating an action class, every time you have to pass Chrome driver, Firefox driver, and you have to create 3 different constructor for it: Chrome driver, Firefox driver, Edge driver. Based on the browsers what you are working, keep on creating the constructor. Based on that only you can pass. Otherwise, you cannot pass. To achieve that common layer, we are going to have this feature. The object should be created for child and stored it in the parent. When you do that, few things will happen. One is, while calling the method during the compile time, the compiler will think the method is coming from doctor. You see, compiler will think the method is coming from doctor, but actually the definition will be taken based on the overridden concept. Based on the object you create, if the method is overridden, the overridden method will be called. Okay. Method, you can just notice, method will be called based on the object created. Okay. If the method is overridden, if you don't override, that is not a problem. It will take it from the parent. If you have overridden, then the method will be called based on the object created. Okay. This is a concept of method overriding. We call it as runtime polymorphism. Reason is, method to be called during the compile time, it shows method is coming from doctor, but during the runtime you see the definition is different. Okay, that is your runtime polymorphism. During the runtime only, method to be called is resolved. Now this is a simple method overriding concept. Going further, you will be working on abstract class and interface. Let me quickly tell you. Yes, similar to WebDriver, driver equal to new Chrome driver. But WebDriver is an interface, not a class like this. Here, if you see here, 1 minute. Okay, now it's time to understand what is abstract class and interface. See here, here what I am done is I have done a simple overridden concept. I can create an object for doctor, which is possible. I can create an object for dentist and veterinarian, which is possible, and store it in the parent for doing the overriding concept. Going further, what we do here in Selenium WebDriver, it's not a class. See, a WebDriver is not a class. It's called interface. So let's understand that properly. Okay, we have to work on abstraction first of all. Let me show you the definition of abstraction. I'll share this slide. When you get time, you go through it. Runtime polymorphism. It is called runtime polymorphism, and the method to be invoked is based on the object being referred. When a method is defined in base class and again redefined in derived class, you see, for example, it's something like that. They will create some code and give you. Now you want to give your own definition. Assume that you want to give your own definition. Then you can create a class, extend the class, and override the method. Okay, how easy to override the logic here? Just understand it. You okay? Assume that you are going to create a some class X type. Okay, X type I'm creating. Now I wanted to give my own definition. Okay, I don't want to use the existing definition. For that, what I can do is I can extend the doctor, and I will be creating my own definition for the treatment. Okay, own definition. That is the logic here. Now I can create an object for X type, new X type, X type. Follow the standard. We will try to put it in the doctor class so that X dot treatment. Now you see while calling it, it will think the method is coming from doctor. When I right click on it, open declaration, it will show you the method from doctor. But during the runtime, what happens is based on the object I create, it will check whether this method is overridden or not. If it is overridden, that method will be called. Okay, you can see own definition. Suppose there is a method public void hospital name. Okay, assume that all the doctors are coming from a common hospital. Okay. I'm just printing the hospital name. Some HR hospital. Okay, something like that. Now you see here, I will be calling the method. Let me use all these reference. D dot hospital name, and I'll do obj dot hospital name. Method will be shown based on the left hand side only. If you see here, all the methods are shown based on the left hand side only, doctor only. Obj dot hospital name. Okay, X dot hospital name. Right now you see these methods we are calling. What you need to understand is this hospital name and all. You see the reference. D it's new doctor, and OBJ is nothing but new dentist. Now what you need to work on is whether this method is overridden or not. Hospital method is overridden in the child or not. If it is not overridden, don't worry, it will take the definition from the parent class. Okay, during the runtime, one method will be loaded. First parent method will be loaded. If you listen carefully, last class I explained the inheritance concept. What happened when you create an object for child? When you create an object for child, first memory will be allocated for parent, then it will allocate for child. Now, if parent and child is having a same variable, same method, it will override. That is the concept here. Okay, overridden method will be called. Here you see these methods are not overridden, so it will take it from the parent. If it is overridden, that definition will be taken. For example, the X doctor which I'm creating, X type which I'm creating, I wanted to make sure is not working in this hospital, is a contract type. Okay, something like that. I'm overriding the method you see here. Now you see the definition for only the text will be different. The rest of the people, it will take it from the parent. Okay, that is a concept. Why we are storing it in a common layer is just to make sure any method can accept the common layer easily. It can accept it. See, if I provide dentist, then it can deal with the object of dentist, not for other type of doctor. And I have to create it and create the payroll for each and every doctor. So that's why we are making some common layer. And here all the classes have its own definition. Doctor class have its own method, dentist will have method, overridden method and its own method, veterinarian will have its own method, overridden method, extract. Next concept is basically called abstraction. Let me show you that. See, abstraction. See, abstraction is quality of dealing with ideas rather than event. Abstraction is a process of hiding the implementation detail from the user. Only functionality will be provided to the user. In Java, abstraction is achieved using abstract class and interface. Let's see a general definition of abstraction. Or inheritance concept only. Remember that when you create an object for child, first memory will be allocated for parent. Whatever is there, it will be allocated for parent. Then it will allocate the memory for child. Now, you see abstraction, definition, abstraction rules. The concept and object-oriented programming that shows only essential attribute and hides unnecessary information. Okay. Let's understand this with an example. Okay. For example, I'm going to create a, in this itself, I'll do it. Let me create one new package. Dot sc dot already we have the employee data. Let me create it as a employee database, something like that. I've created one package. Inside that package, I'm going to let's already we have the, let's take this school management. Okay. Now, here I want a method to display the student record, professor record. I want some method to be displayed like student record, professor record. Assume that I ask you to complete this assignment. If you're not completed, I'll do it right now. You see here in person class, I ask you to create these records. We'll use this for abstraction also. Name, phone number, mail ID. Mail ID, it's fine. Address, school name, school address. It's going to be common for all the person in that environment. So make it as static. Rest will be given as non-static. And student class, I want student ID, student percentage, course code, which is done. And for professor, I want professor ID, department ID, public department ID, and then department name. I've given something, department name. Instead of creating it in the same file, we will create it in a different file only. Department name, and then experience, public experience. Okay, these are the details I wanted for a professor. Apart from that, two details from common details which we will take it from the parent. Now, okay, assume that I want the student class, professor class needs to have a method to display the student detail, to display the professor detail. Okay, how to create that method to display student detail, professor detail? I go to the student class. I'll create a method here. I will create a method, public void display person detail. Okay. Now, this method what it does is it will try to print the name of the student. Name is coming from which class? It's coming from the parent class. Okay. You can use super dot name. Okay. For example, if the name is private means you cannot access it. Only through the getter setter, if you want to access, you can access. Right now you see further. And if I give public, if I give protected, listen, I'm going to give protected. Protected means it can be accessible with the package as well as in the inheritance. You see, in student class, I'm able to access super dot name because we are using inheritance, inheriting the person class. But in school record, we are not able to call because we are not using inheritance concept. That is the protected concept. If I give public, I can access anywhere. That is the concept. Here, I'm able to access it. Like out different package by just creating an object, able to access it. I want to give access only to child classes means the most restrictive one for the child classes will be protected. No one will be outside the class, outside the package will not be able to access without inheritance. You see, not visible. That's the concept here. Let me make it as public. And to access the name, student name, system.out.println, mobile number plus super dot mobile number, get mobile number I'll use. Parent methods, if you want to call, you can use super keyword. And class name, if you want to use call, you can use this. This is a non-static. How do you call this method?
Using object.
Yeah, using the object. So whichever the object you can call using the student, it is inside student class. So this method is not in the parent one. It's in the student class. Okay. Now while calling this method, you have to create an object for student class and you can call it. Now this display method, let it be to detail, and student ID I'll give it. Student name, student ID, student percentage mention, student percentage I give, name, mobile number, percentage detail. That these are the details I wanted to be printed. If you look into this, for professor also, I want this method to be used. Okay. For professor also, I want this display detail to be done. Display person detail for professor class also needs to be done. Now, there will be lots of classes. Not only, it's not going to be stop only with student and professor. Like alumni will be there. Okay, different classes will be there. Now, if you see in the current class, if you want to access, you can use this keyword. Current object reference will happen. Otherwise, you can directly use without this keyword. Both will work. It will be pointing to the current object only, so no issues. Now, in order to call this method, it's very simple. I can call by using the object reference non-static method. Now, if you listen carefully, I want to set up a rule. Okay, the abstract why we go for abstraction is basically to set the rule. The reason why we go for abstraction is hiding the implementation decision from the user and basically to set the rules. To set the rules, there is two ways. One is abstract class, the other one is interface. For example, displayed person detail. You see here display person detail. I want it should be created by all the classes, all the child classes, student, professor. So how can I achieve that? How can I force the development team, whoever is going to inherit this person, I want to make sure they should give the detail for print display student detail or display person detail, common name. Okay, how to achieve that? One option in this case is either you can create abstract class or you can create achieve abstraction. One option is you can create a abstract class. The other one is interface. Let's understand it. When to go with abstract class, when to go with interface. You see in the person class already we have some methods with definition. In person class, we already have some methods with definition. And few methods I will be giving without definition, so that child classes should give the definition. That's basically called abstract. I'm going to give public void display person detail. Display person detail. Display person detail. Now you see here, display person detail in the sense which person detail. Either we are going to display student detail or we are going to display professor detail. We will not know in this person class. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set a rule here. So only method declaration I'll be giving. I will make this method as abstract. I'll make this method as abstract. And I don't have any definition, but I want the child class to give the definition. I will make this method as abstract. Okay, abstract method means you don't want to give any definition, just declaration is enough. Return type is void, method name should be this, argument if you want, you can give it. Okay, now when the listen here, when to go with abstract class, when you have some methods with a definition and some methods without definition and without definition. Both the options are available in our case. I have some method with definition, set mobile number and all, it's having a definition. Only this method is not going to be known until I know which object they are going to use. Okay. So during that time, you can go for abstract class. You can create the method abstract. You can easily create the method abstract by giving the method abstract. If the method is abstract, then the class should be abstract. The class should be abstract. You see, there is an error right now. I made the method as abstract because I don't know the definition for this. I can give name, mobile number, address. But what is the purpose of just giving name, mobile number, address? I should know whether that person is a student or professor, right? So I right now will not know. Only to the child classes, we will come to know whether the person is related to student or professor. During that time, I'm just making the child classes. You see, earlier when I don't have this feature, the code was working fine, absolutely fine, no issues. Professor class, absolutely it got compiled. In professor class, there is no method called display person. It's someone must to create the method, but in student class it's available. But I want all the child class should give the definition for display person detail. How to do that? For that, I can create an abstract method in the parent class. And when the method is abstract, you have to make the classes abstract. You have to make the classes abstract. Okay. If you make the class as abstract, you cannot create an object for abstract class. You cannot instantiate the abstract class. See why you cannot instantiate the abstract class? Object cannot be created. Instantiation is none, object cannot be created. The reason why you can't create the object for person classes, object for person class in this one, which is your object, something like this. Person p equal to new person, which is not possible because it's an abstract class. The reason why you cannot create an object for abstract class, you see, it will throw error. Okay, you cannot create an object like this. Reason why you cannot create an object for abstract classes, there could be a method without definition. And what will be the definition if you are able to call the method? It's a ambiguity, right? So abstract, if you give, it's basically going to contain some method with definition, some method without definition, and you cannot create the object for this class. Only purpose of this class is to keep it as reference. Okay. Now I've created the abstract method. How many abstract method I created? I created one abstract method. Now, if you see student class is not throwing any error. Okay, why student class is not throwing any error is we are overriding the abstract method. But if I go to professor class, where I am using extend person, it started throwing error. Whoever is trying to use my person class, it will throw error. Only thing is they have to make this class as abstract, one option. The other option is they have to give the definition. You see, it's forcing the user to give the definition. If you have an abstract methods, we use it for providing a set of rules. Okay, just remember that to provide the set of rules. I want these are the methods should be given definition for all the child classes. Those method definitions will be giving it. Like a declaration will be giving it set of rules. These are all declarations. Now I can create any class. For example, let me create a class called security. Okay, I'm going to create a class. Security will extend a person. Once it extends the person, immediately it will throw error. Okay, imported, immediately it will throw error, asking us to give the definition for display person detail. For sure, you have to give the definition. Definition will be different. Security related details will be there. For professor related details will be there along with the some feature in parent. Here also some feature in parent along with that student related detail will be there. Okay. So now it will force the user to give the definition. That's the concept of abstract class. So these two methods is fine. Apart from that, I'm going to give the method like this dot professor ID, something like that. Security, I am not going to give any definition. Let it be like this. But we have to give the definition. Otherwise, you have to make the class as abstract. Understood when to go with abstract class? For example, if you take employee, there will be a contract employee and then permanent employee. For contract employee and permanent employee, the salary calculation will be different. Apart from that, employee number, employee name, and then project code, everything will be common. So whatever is common, we will create a class called employee, will give those details inside the class. and we will create a class called contract employee, permanent employee, which will extend the employee class. In the employee class, I will be creating one abstract method like this, calculate salary. Salary will be different. Okay, clear for you? Instead of dumping everything inside one class by using if condition, we can create these kind of rules. And whichever the class is going to inherit that particular class, they have to give the definition. Understood this one, abstract class? There is, okay, when you need to go for abstract classes, when you have some method with definition, when you without definition, then go for abstract class. And what is interface? Abstract, this is a class. Remember that this is a class. Abstract we are giving, right? That's a class. This class will have feature, some feature it will have. You see some feature. That's why we are using extends person. From the person only, it is using the name, mobile number, and this address, school name, school address. All these are coming from the parent class. We are extending some feature, but you cannot create an object for abstract class. Got it? We'll try to store it in the person basically. Right now, I'll leave it as it is. Understood what is abstract class? Now, interface is something which you can easily understand right now. When to go with interface? When you don't have any definition. When you don't have any definition. For example, in Selenium WebDriver, they use a concept called interface. WebDriver is an interface. The reason why they use interfaces, because they will not have any definition until they know which browser they are going to automate. Okay, for example, let me create a class over here. Browser demo I'll create. The main method I'll create. Now, when to go with interface, when to go with abstract class. Both are the concept for using abstraction. Abstraction definition is this one. Process of hiding the implementation detail from the user. Only functionality will be provided to the user. Okay. When to go with abstract class, when to go with interface. When you don't have any definition. For example, take the browser, Chrome driver. I want to, in Chrome browser, I wanted to find the element, and then I wanted to close the browser. I want to navigate to the URL. Basic activities I want to know. In Firefox browser, I want to do this activity. In Safari browser, I want to do this activity, but I want to make sure all the child classes, all the Chrome class, Chrome driver class, Firefox driver class, and then the Safari driver class should have the definition. So how can I make sure the development team is giving all these methods properly? Okay, because if they by mistake, if they delete also, you see it will throw error right now. Assume that they are modifying this security class. By mistake, they deleted this method. Immediately, it will throw the error, ask them to implement it. Okay, we will provide those set of rules. Now, set of rules can be provided with abstract class as well as interface. Abstract class you can go when you have some method with definition. This is the exact scenario. When you have some method with definition and some method without definition, then go for abstract class. Now, we will not have any method with definition, but I know only these methods is required. I want method for navigating to the URL. I want method for closing the tab, closing the browser, and I want to method for finding the element. So how to do that? For that, what we'll do is we'll create an interface. Interface is not a class. You cannot create an object for abstract class or interface, because interface is not a class. First of all, to create an object, interface will have only abstract methods. The interface will have only abstract method. Whatever the method you create in the interface, by default it will be public abstract. By default it will be public abstract. Only declaration will be there in interface. By default, all the methods you create inside interface, by default it will be public abstract. That's why we don't want to give public and abstract. By default itself, it will be public and abstract. Whatever the rules you want, whatever the methods you want, you will first declare it in this. Listen carefully. Void quit. I'm going to give one more, few more methods here. Void close, let me be method. Okay. I've created these methods. Now these methods and all, I want it for doing a cross-browser testing. So for that, we have created a set of rules by using the interface concepts. Now, whatever the browser they want to support, first they want to support Chrome, and then Firefox, and then Safari. So they have to make sure same method name should be used for doing the activity. For example, quit here, closing the browser. Suppose in Chrome driver they are using close browser or close Chrome, close Firefox. If they keep on creating a different method, it will be quite difficult for doing a cross-browser testing. First, they will do a set of rules. The set of rules is achieved by creating either abstract class or interface. When to go with abstract class? When I have some method with definition, I'll go for abstract class. Some method without definition. Now interface comes into picture when I don't have any idea about the definition at all. I will give only the declaration. Okay, that time I'll go for interface. Now you see here, Chrome driver is the class. Chrome driver demo I'll keep, and here interface we will use the keyword implements. You understand the meaning here. For abstract class, what we are doing is public. There can be only one public, so I'm just keep the class Chrome driver, and we use the keyword called implements here. Implements interface. Okay. So the reason why we use implement here, this is not going to have any feature at all. Just some method declaration will be there. Those method declaration, I have to give the definition in the child class. That's why we are implementing the WebDriver. While giving an interface detail, we will mention it as implementing the detail. Whereas for abstract class, if you see, we use extending the feature, some feature from the parent class, and some feature we are giving the definition by using the overriding concept. Okay, if you see the first class what I created, the overriding concept, that was having doctor, dentist, veterinarian. Doctor class itself is having lots of method. Every method is having a definition. Next, what I did is I created a person class where some method is having a definition, some method is not having a definition. At that time, I go for abstract. Now we go for Selenium WebDriver concept where nothing will have the definition. Only I know these are the methods I want to do for cross-browser testing. During that time, I can create an interface. The set of rules I'll be providing. By default, all the method are going to be public and abstract in interface. Then go for interface. By default, all the methods are public and abstract. Even if you don't mention, it will be abstract. Abstract means method with declaration only. You don't want to give any definition, only declaration. Definition in the sense, this is your definition. Okay, fine. Now, whichever the class implementing the interface, they have to give the definition. You see, add an implemented method or make type Chrome driver as abstract. If you make this as abstract, error is gone because you will not allowed to create an object. If you're not allowed to create an object, it is still safe. You cannot call this method. Okay, only two options: either give the definition or make it as abstract. So definition will be given here. Let me use a Chrome. It will try to navigate to Chrome URL, and it will close Chrome browser. Definition, you see, close Chrome browser definition. Now different classes will be there in this. You see here, I'm going to create one more class. Okay, class Firefox. Firefox implement the interface, so that if you see methods, the definition will be different. Implements, here the definition will be, logic will be navigating to the URL in Firefox browser. For Firefox, it might be developed with Java and all. Chrome will be developed with the different languages. Edge and all, mostly it will be of .NET related things. So based on the logic, it will try to do the operation. Firefox, close browser definition. You see. Now, so here also we'll do the same thing. What we do is we'll create an object for child, and then we'll try to store it in the parent. The reason why we are not going to store it in the same classes, every time to do the like I wanted to do the cross browser testing, there's a chance you might be using some unwanted method. For example, if I'm trying to store it in Chrome driver demo, see, let me keep it as driver equal to this object. So in this case, what will happen is if I do driver dot, it will give you all the method from Chrome driver demo. So there will be some method like only in the Chrome only. You see, I'm going to create one method. You can create additional methods if you want, but for sure, these method definition should be there. Additional methods you can create. Now you see, I'm going to give driver dot get. I'm going to give some URL google.com and driver dot quit. Okay, and driver dot. You see all the method it shows it's coming from Chrome driver demo. I'm able to call this method. Okay, by mistake you will be using some unwanted methods and all. Now you to do the cross browser testing, it will be quite difficult. It will run for Chrome, but for doing a cross browser testing, what you need to do is, let me keep it as Firefox. For doing a cross browser, let me keep it as Firefox driver method. For doing a cross browser testing, you see you want to create an object inject. Now you see this method will not be there. So every time you have to notice whether we are using a proper method or not. To overcome this issue, what we do is we'll create an object for child and then store it in the parent. When you store it in the parent, what is going to happen is when you give driver dot, you see Chrome only is not accessible. But when you do driver dot, you see only the method from the parent it shows, like doctor class, it was showing the method only from doctor, right? Same thing happens. All the methods, whatever the methods it's shown over here, it shows only from the parent. You see, WebDriver demo, close WebDriver demo, come from WebDriver demo, coming from WebDriver demo, and you see here quit coming from WebDriver demo. You can call these method, but when I hover on it during the compile time, it will think the method is coming from the WebDriver demo. Let me right click on it, open declaration, it shows this method. But WebDriver demo is an interface. We know that it's not going to have any definition. Okay. During the runtime, based on the object you create, the method will be called, and it will protect you to use only the method which is in WebDriver. Whatever the method is inside the WebDriver, for sure the definition will be there in the child class. You see, based on the object created, it's getting called. Based on the object created, the definition is getting called. Okay. If I just change it to Firefox driver, this simple if condition will solve the problem. You see, it's running from Firefox. Okay, simple if condition, I can do it. That is always it will be like WebDriver commonly. Okay, if I can create a method which accepts WebDriver demo, that method I can create, and I can pass object of new Chrome driver, new Firefox driver, new Safari driver, all the objects I can pass, like payroll, which accepts a doctor type, right? Similarly, I can create a method accepting WebDriver demo, and I can pass all the objects. Okay, so that's the main reason why we go for method over like this kind of storage. Okay, only if you do this, you can achieve method overriding. Okay. The method to be called is resolved during the runtime. It's a overriding concept only. The first one which we discussed, doctor, that's the concept. The rest everything is going to be an extensibility of this overriding concept. Abstract class, when I don't have some definition, I will give it as abstract. And when I don't have any definition at all, I'll go for interface and cover it. Understood what is an interface? We'll have only abstract methods and we call it as implement. It's clear for you? Got an idea about this abstraction?
Yes.
Okay, let me quickly give you an idea about it. See here, we have a method for taking the screenshot. If you might have done it in Google, you got this code. Let me do it. To take screenshot in Chrome, you see here, understand it properly. To take screenshot in Selenium, I have to do this. See something like typecasting they are doing. Take screenshot, typecasting they are doing, and then they are calling the method get screenshot. Okay, why we need to do this typecasting? Okay, if you understand this, whatever we have discussed till now, right? That would be clear for you. So for example, I'm going to create one more interface. In order to achieve multiple inheritance in Java, in order to achieve multiple inheritance, we can achieve that only through interface. Two classes you cannot implement. In Java, you cannot extend two different classes. It's not possible. In Python, it's possible. In Java, multiple inheritance is not possible. If you consider class A, class B, it's a single inheritance. If you consider class A inherited by B, inherited by C, this one, father, son, grandson, that's a multi-level inheritance. These are all hierarchical inheritance. Doctor, dentist, veterinarian, all are implementing a common class. The mostly we'll be using a hierarchical inheritance only. Student, professor is extending person class. It's an hierarchical inheritance only. And interface also is here. What we are trying to do is implementing the interface in different classes. It's basically one interface we are implementing in different classes. Suppose you are trying to support one new browser. Assume that you are trying to support some new browser. You don't want to put a lot of effort in this. You will come to know what are the method you need to design first of all. I'm going to create X browser. Assume that I wanted to automate that X browser. For that, what are the methods I want? You don't want to worry about it. You just implement the interface. Once you implement the interface, you will get the methods needs to be created. And you have to sit and write the definition for those methods. Okay. The thing is, while entering into the OOPS concept, you will see the advantage of extensibility. Now, let me create one more interface called take screenshot. There's a method called get screenshot. There's a method called get screenshot. Void, let me keep it as get screenshot. That is the method which helps us in, you see here, the method get screenshot is the method which will try to take the screenshot. Okay, now here in this, you see, we don't have a get screenshot, so I'll be adding the multiple inheritance is possible by using the interface. I can implement multiple interface like this. Okay, WebDriver demo, they have to give the definition. I added one more interface, take screenshot, it will throw error. Why it is throwing error right now? The reason why it is throwing error is we have to implement the definition of this also. Take screenshot. You see, I added the logic here. System.out.println Chrome screenshot. Okay, now the same interface will be implemented here. Take screenshot, and I have to give the definition here. Okay. System dot. Suppose assume that in IE not able to create the screenshot, then I don't want to implement it. Okay, that's why they are segregating it properly. They don't dump everything, all the method inside WebDriver itself. They will try to segregate it. These are all mandatory method. Without this, you cannot do the operation. That is the concept. Selenium WebDriver is what we are discussing. Whatever is mandatory, those things will be added here. Additional details, they will create new interface and make sure it is supported by all the browsers. That's what they will move on step by step. And suppose one browser is not allowing you to take screenshot because of some security reason, you don't want to implement that interface. Okay, so right now you see here, now I'm going to do driver dot. If I do driver dot, based on the left hand side, listen carefully, based on the left hand side only method will be displayed. When you give driver dot, you are creating an object for child, storing it in the parent. But when you give driver dot, it will show all the method based on the left hand side. Do we have that get screenshot method? You see close method is there. It's coming from the parent. In the parent, in the left, I'm storing it in WebDriver demo, right? You see, I'm storing it in the WebDriver demo. In WebDriver demo, get, quit, close, only these methods are there. Only these methods are there. And if you are storing it in WebDriver demo, you see only those method will be accessible. Close, get, quit, and you don't see the method get screenshot as. It will throw error. You see, it is going to throw error saying that we know that object is created for new Firefox, and we know that Firefox is having the method. But see, it's not allowing us to call the method. Okay. Now, if I try to same thing for Chrome driver demo also, see here, it's not allowing. But if I do this, I'll be able to call the method. If I store it in the Chrome driver equal to new Chrome driver, if you remember that based on the left hand side only, methods will be displayed. If you do driver dot, based on the left hand side only, method will be displayed. You see Chrome only is also getting called because we are storing Chrome driver, right? So these methods, everything is getting allowed because based on the left hand side only it will be displayed. If I keep it as WebDriver demo, only the methods, you see only the methods which is available in the parent is going to be allowed to call. Okay. Now you see Chrome only is not allowed. The get screenshot is not allowed. Now we want to call this get screenshot. I know there is a definition for get screenshot in the Chrome driver. So how to do that? Listen carefully. I can create an object of child and I can store it in the parent. So this is possible, right? I can do this take screenshot, let it keep ts equal to new Chrome driver. It's possible, right? Object of child, I can store it in the parent. There is a parent called WebDriver demo. There is one more parent also called take screenshot, which is also possible, right? New Chrome driver can be stored in WebDriver demo as well as take screenshot, possible. It is also a parent. Okay, new student, new security, new professor, I can store it in person. Okay. And if I, these are all classes, multiple inheritance is not possible. But just remember that the object can be stored in the respective type as well as in the parent. So this is a valid code. I can do this es dot get screenshot. The code will work. But what will happen when we run this in actual scenario? Here it will launch the browser and it will do the activity. And what happened in this stage? If it is actual Chrome driver class from the Selenium jar, what this statement will do?
Overriding.
No, this statement will try to launch the browser again, right? New Chrome driver, what I'm doing, it will try to see overriding in the sense from class A to class B. Right now what is happening over here is they assume that there is a go to meeting. Let's take this class Selenium jar only. You see here new Chrome driver. Okay. Oh, if I do this, take screenshot is already available in take screenshot. You see org.openq.selenium. If I do this new Chrome driver, what it will do is, just listen here. Let me try to put a breakpoint here and debug it and show you. Line number 18 will launch browser, which we already discussed. Okay, you see it will launch the browser. Now, it takes some time. Let me put a breakpoint here. You see a browser is launched. Now I'm doing a maximize and setting the implicit weight. Now, in line number 22, what I'm doing is I'm creating an object for new Chrome driver. Again, what will happen is it will try to launch the browser. You see one browser here and one more browser it got launched. It will, if I do ts dot get screenshot, if I do ts dot get screenshot, it will take the screenshot from the new browser which is getting launched. Understood? Here, this is a valid code. I can call this method, but what will happen is browser launch will happen here. A new browser will be launched here. But we want to capture the screenshot from the existing browser only, right? To capture the screenshot from the existing browser, what I need to do is I have to give that object detail. That object, where are we storing? That new Chrome driver we are creating, right? Under which reference we are storing, which variable we are storing. The new Chrome driver, we are storing under what reference?
Driver.
Driver. So that detail I need to give here. Now, when I give this, it will throw error. It will throw error because during the compile time, all these are going to happen during the runtime. Object will be created during the runtime. During the runtime only, it will understand that this can be stored in driver because driver is a parent. Now you see here, driver is actually holding what object? New Chrome driver, correct? Now new Chrome driver can be stored in take screenshot, right? Listen here. This is a concept here. A new Chrome driver object is getting created. That is actually pointed by driver. Driver is basically a parent. Driver variable is basically a parent of WebDriver demo is a parent of Chrome driver. Okay. So driver can also point this, and same this screenshot also can point this, right? Yes, is also can point this because it's an object of Chrome driver. Chrome driver is basically a child of WebDriver demo as well as take screenshot. So you see here the previously existing object detail you need to give. While doing this, during the compile time, compile error will be given. It will ask you to do a casting. Okay, it will ask you to do a casting. You should not randomly do the casting. If you do the casting, understand that what is happening. I did the casting. This is the code what is shown in the Google for taking the screenshot. You see, this is what they are showing. Okay. Now you see, I'm able to call get screenshot method. Right now, during this line number 82, it will try to do this. TS will try to point to new Chrome driver. Okay, can we store the like this is possible, right? New Chrome driver can be stored in TS, right? Take screenshot. It's possible, right? New Chrome driver is a
Yes.
parent, so it's possible. So we can do a typecast during the runtime. It is a valid. During the runtime only it will be calculated. You see here. What you need to understand this is what is the relationship between take screenshot and new Chrome driver. Chrome driver. See this take screenshot and new Chrome driver. What is the relationship? It's a parent. Take screenshot is a parent, so it is possible. Now you see definition will be taken from the object you create. Now you see if I do this Firefox demo, take screenshot, you see new Firefox driver. Now new Firefox, what is the relationship between Firefox driver and take screenshot? The Firefox driver is a child of take screenshot, so it is possible. The object, this object can be pointed by TS. So it will accept and the definition will be taken from here, object created. Now, let me create one random class edge, I'll create. Okay, and let me do edge implements a screenshot. Let me keep it as a WebDriver demo. Let me keep it as WebDriver demo. Only WebDriver demo is there. Now, listen carefully. I'm going to keep it as edge here. New edge. Is there any relationship between screenshot and edge right now?
No.
There is no relationship. Okay. Now, while adding this, it will throw error. It will throw error. Why are you doing take screenshot? WebDriver equal to WebDriver. Why are you doing that? And it will give you some solution. Cast. You can do cast for anything. But what you need to understand is whether what is driver is holding new edge. What is the relationship between this edge and take screenshot? You need to understand. Whether you can store the object of edge and take screenshot or not, you need to understand. Now you see there is no relationship between edge and take screenshot. Now during the compile time, when you do casting, it will accept. But during the runtime, see what is going to happen. During the runtime, it will try to take screenshot TS will be trying to point to the drive a new edge. It will throw a class cast exception. Okay, cannot be cast. It will throw the error during the runtime. Okay, randomly you should not do the cast. See, you can do cast. For example, browser demo is a class here. Browser demo equal to driver I'll give. Okay, it will throw error. Browser demo is nothing but let me take this class. Okay. Now you see driver is throwing error. To fix it, I'm doing a casting. Is there any relationship between this new Edge and browser demo. Randomly, you should not do the casting. You see, if I run this, it will throw a cast exception in line number 107. Okay, to understand whether it's possible or not. Okay. Clear for you this casting concept?
Yes, yes.
Let's see that real-time example. To take screenshot in Selenium, let me show you how to take the screenshot. Let me create a we have to work on lots of Selenium concept, which we will be doing it in the upcoming classes. Selenium advanced. Okay. I'll show you how to take the screenshot. Just what I need to do is I have to launch the browser, navigate to the URL. After navigating to the URL, okay, I want to take the screenshot. You see here, driver dot, it's not showing any method. Driver dot get screenshot, it's not showing because WebDriver is not having the get screenshot method. But Chrome driver is having get screenshot method. If I do this Chrome driver, same thing like what I did it in the previous scenario, storing it in Chrome driver. Now you see I'm getting the method get screenshot. Okay. But since the concept is WebDriver, we try to store it in the WebDriver. That is the layer where it will have the reusable code. That's the code we wanted to give high preference. Remaining code and all, we have to do typecasting and do it. Right now, I can do casting to Chrome driver and call it, or I can do casting to take screenshot. You see, take screenshot ts equal to driver. I'll do. Now I know this Chrome driver is having the. Let me verify that. You can see Selenium Java doc, and you can see go to this one, and you can search for all classes. Under all classes, search for Chrome driver. You see Chrome driver. I go Chrome driver. You see all implementing interface. You see Chrome driver is implementing WebDriver as well as it is implementing the text screenshot. Okay, so you can create an object for Chrome driver and you can store it in any of these classes, any of these interface, and also some classes is also there. Any of these classes you can store, but we store it in WebDriver basically. Okay, I can do this. I can here itself. I can do take screenshot. The reason why we are not doing this take screen, why we are not storing it in take screenshot is major code lies on the WebDriver. No point in storing it in screenshot. You see, there is no error in line number 15. Major code lies with WebDriver. That's why we put it in the WebDriver. Remaining things we'll try to do casting. Right now, the object of new Chrome driver or Firefox driver can be stored in take screenshot because take screenshot is also a parent. I know exactly what object is there here. I can do the typecasting, but during the compile time, this is interface, this is interface. It will think, why are you equating interface? So we are forcefully converting it, okay, casting it. During the runtime, if it is a valid cast, it will happen. Otherwise, it will not happen. Yes dot get screenshot as output type dot file. This get screenshot as I need to call an output type. How do you want output type? If you want to add it to the report, you will have different types. One is a file. Save it as a file. If you want to save it as a file, you have to go for this. If you want to embed it in the HTML, then we will go for base64, which we will be seeing while creating the framework. I'm going to get it as a file. Right now, it will return a file object. File object. There's a class called file. I'll tell you about this file object. Okay, now this file object, you can save it file dot you see rename to, let me give the new file. You see here file object dot I'm going to do rename. Rename or copy will be there. Rename, it is asking for file type. Destination, I have to give the new file. File comes from Java. and then the name. Let me give error.png. Error.png. Okay. Output type dot file you need to give. It will return a file object. Okay, some object it will return file type. That I have to store it somewhere. Okay, rename I can do rename, and I can give destination. New file. It's asking for file type. I've given object of file, and while giving the object of file, it will, you see, different constructor will be there. Path you can give. That's what I've done. So when I run the script, it will try to navigate to that URL, take the screenshot. Right now it will save it in the project directory. Let me refresh the project. You see error.png got saved here. Okay, if you give d:// it will store it in D drive. Okay, we'll discuss about this file class. I'll tell you about that file class. This, using this file class, you can delete a file, create a file, rename a file. Okay, anything you want to deal with the files, you can use this file class java.io. I'll show you that. This file you see here, file.delete. Okay, you can create a file object and you can do it. File will be working on this basically. New file. I can give any file here. Let me give this file. Okay. Complete directory you can give. Complete directory you can give, or you can give the project level. Okay, let me give the complete directory for easy understanding. A test data is the file. Okay, test data is the file. Okay, right now this is the file object. Let me keep it as file1. Now if I want to delete this file, I can check for this thing, system.out.println file1.exist. Exist will be there. This will tell you whether file is available or not. It's a Java concept only. I just tell you whether file is available or not. True or false, it's what it will give you. Let me comment it, or I'll change it to Chrome Drive. It will give you true or false. If the file is available, it will give you true. If it is available, I want to delete it. I can do this operation. If file1.exist, okay, I want to delete it or I want to rename it. You can do all these activity using this file object. Okay, file.get directory, get absolute path, get parent file, get parent path. Okay, and you see different methods and read. Okay, exist, get name. You see, I'm trying to get the name of the file. Similarly, if you want to delete, you can use delete option. Delete. Okay, delete on exist. On exist, it will delete. If you are planning to delete, you have to check whether the file is there or not. If the file is not there, it will throw error. You can use delete on exist. If the file is there, delete it. Okay. Let me make a copy of the file. I'll delete the copied file. Okay, if the file exists, it will delete it. You can see deleted. Understand? Dealing with file. Okay. And get screenshot as gives us a file. We are storing that as a physical file. Okay, in the location we are storing it. Will be in the memory. We are storing it as a actual file. While storing, you can decide whether you want JPG or PNG, whatever it is. Right now, this is fine. This is something which you have to understand. That's the concept of Java. Whatever the method not available in WebDriver and it is available in Chrome driver, you have to do the typecasting. Typecasting you have to do to the parent level so that you can reuse it. Listen here. Till this it's clear for you, whatever I have done?
Yes.
To call the get screenshot. See, this is also possible. I can do Chrome driver. See, right now I'm creating an object for Chrome driver. Chrome driver demo and ch equal to driver, which is also possible. See here, this is possible, right? I can do new Chrome driver. We can store it in Chrome driver, right? Ch dot get screenshot as you can see, this is possible. Why are we not doing? Why are we doing it for screenshot, not for Chrome driver? Typecasting we are doing to call the method get screenshot. We are typecasting it to take screenshot and then calling the method. It is going to call the method based on the object we create only. It will take the definition from Chrome driver only. But this is also valid casting only. I can do the casting to Chrome driver. Why are we not doing this? New Chrome driver can be stored in Chrome driver as well as web driver. Take screenshot. Okay, I can do typecasting to Chrome driver, but why are we not doing this? This is also going to work, but why are we not doing a casting to Chrome driver?
Both are child.
No, it is actual code only. You see, it's when I run it, get to get the output. Okay. Now, after doing this, in order to run it in Firefox, what you need to do, you have to change this, correct? Now, new Firefox can we store it in Chrome driver? New, is there any relationship between Firefox and Chrome driver? Just check it. Firefox is here, Firefox driver demo is here, and the parent is web driver and take screenshot. Is there any relationship between Chrome driver and Firefox driver demo?
No relation.
No relationship. So every time you have to sit and change this typecasting. Right now you see casting error will be there for Firefox screenshot. Google.com is okay. This line number 108 is fine. Line number 110 is throwing error, cast exception. Okay, every time if you do it for typecasting to Chrome driver, you have to sit and do it for every browser class. That's why we don't do it for specific browser class. We do it for the parent level so that it will be applicable common for all the browser class. Here also I can achieve that while taking the screenshot. To call the get screenshot, I can do this. Chrome driver d equal to driver. I can do this. And I can hover on it, cast it, which is possible because new Chrome driver can be stored in Chrome driver. I can do d.get screenshot. You see, it's possible. Okay. The reason why we are not doing this is it's actually possible. I can give d dot. Okay. The reason why we are not doing this is if I change it to Firefox driver, I have to sit and modify the code here, typecasting code. That is the reason we are not doing it. But this code will work because Firefox is also having a relationship between take screenshot. Okay, during the runtime, overridden method will be called. It shows the method is coming from take screenshot, but during the runtime, it shows method is coming from take screenshot. Same thing, but during the runtime, based on the object you create, the definition will be taken. Understood? These are all major concept of abstract interface and all this will be connected. What you need to go through is go to the last class video. Last class I explained about inheritance, right? This raw data, this you try to understand. If you understand this, everything is going to be simple. If you see here, when you create an object for child, first memory is getting allocated for parent. If parent is having some 100 method, all will be allocated. Suppose in that 100 method, 50 method is overridden. Now, when I create an object for child, first parent methods will be allocated 100 method. Next child method will be allocated. Now, same methods and all will be overridden. Overridden method will be called when you create an object for child. Okay. And additionally, whatever the method specific to parent, those also you can access it. Hospital name, you can see based on the left hand side only, it will show all the methods. If you want to call the method specifically available in Chrome driver or Firefox driver, you have to do typecasting. Typecasting either to Chrome driver or typecast to some other parent, which is a common parent. Okay, that is a concept. Understood what is typecasting? While doing a typecasting, make sure why you do the typecasting. And just one thing what you need to notice is whether new Firefox driver or new Chrome driver can be stored in take screenshot or not is what you need to notice. If you understand that, take screenshot. What is the relationship between take screenshot and Firefox driver? Just check it. Okay, if it is having a proper parent-child relationship, casting will work. Otherwise, it will not work. So that's all for today's session. In the next class, we'll start with Selenium. You can inform the other member also. We have completed few Selenium concepts. We have going to work on some advanced concepts like JavaScript and all. CSS, JavaScript and all will work on it. Like how to work with the dynamic web pages, we'll start with the next class. And then once completed, we'll go with the framework. Two framework will be designing in the session. One is using TestNG hybrid framework. The other one is BDD framework. Framework and all you guys can start doing with me. Okay. Fine. So if you have any doubts, let me know. Otherwise, we'll wind up the session. Okay. Yeah. Welcome. Connect in the next class. See you everyone. Bye.